Hey everyone, Florida Fisherman here, and in this video we're going to be scrapping for mainly aluminum this all-in-one Imac G3, and apparently the guy was very fond of putting labels on the outside of the case, probably relatively new to computers and had to keep posting notes to himself. I suppose, but I would never stick labels on any of my computers because look at the mess that makes. But we're going to go ahead and scrap this, so that all that really doesn't matter. Well, we're going to start by taking off this panel here and this panel here. These things just pop off. There's a couple of screws to hold this thing on. May not even need to take out that bottom one. She's open. There's a bunch of miscellaneous screws I'm going to have to remove, so I'll go ahead and get to doing that and bring you back when I have the whole shell open. Nice steel screen. Probably could use that for some other things down the road. I think I'll save that. A couple pieces of aluminum here. Big plate down the bottom. That's solid aluminum. So I will start taking out more screws and get this motherboard out of here. Well, I have most of the screws out and one more left, and this guy should pop right off from what I remember from the last one I did anyway. And it does. A lot of copper. Well, not a lot, but some to throw in the scrap bin. There's some gold pins right there, a couple of aluminum heat sinks, some gold pins over in this stuff right here. So I'll take it. Some more gold pins over on this side. Now time to get this guy off, which from what I remember just takes a little brute force. But I'm going to go ahead and reposition this thing and go ahead and yank this guy off. Well, these speakers were causing me a problem, so we're going to make quick work of those. Some nice magnets in these guys right here. Those are quite handy around the shop. So I'll take magnets all day long. We'll save those. Well, this front face is fixing to come off. And I don't remember exactly how I got this other piece off. I think I ended up prying it off or something. I'm sure there's the proper way to do it, but I don't care. I'm sure it would be easier if I had a manual on how to take these things apart. There's 2 hidden screws there, so I bet that has a lot to do with it. I sure like to hide screws. And I save all the screws, and things have saved my butt many a day when I need a screw around. And that's off. Now I got a TV looking monitor. I have no use for that. There's some copper here in the coils, but it's not worth my time to even mess with. A couple little copper coils here. I'll go ahead and cut those out. They're easy to get to. Throw them in the scrap pile. We'll need to get that guy off. That's next. Well, I found a couple more hidden screws holding all this plastic on, so it looks like she's ready to come off. Had to go find my safety glasses and put on a glove. Just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Just like that. And now I can get to my big aluminum plate here. Nice thick aluminum. Nice aluminum heatsink here. Aluminum plate as a backer for it. Another heatsink. Another aluminum plate. Another heatsink. Another aluminum plate. So there's good aluminum in these things. And from what I recall on the last one, now all I have to do is snip a bunch of wires and that'll separate this motherboard from the TV. So let's do that. Hard to reach in here. We'll take a few at a time here. And this is the Gauss cable going around the TV tube. For those of you that don't know, all they do is wrap electrical tape, usually around copper, sometimes aluminum, something to do with the TV. And that's copper, so I'm going to go ahead and save that stuff. So we'll put this in the good pile. And as you can see, there's copper in here, but they put all kind of epoxy and everything else, and it's really just not worth it. So as far as I'm concerned, that goes in the scrap pile. Now just a matter of taking out some Phillips head screws, get this motherboard off, and get to my aluminum. There's a copper motor here, transformer, there's copper in there. This is all stuff you could scrap. Another motor here, little transformer. So I'll yank all those off, throw them in my transformer bucket. Not even going to mess with all this wire. Not enough there. Okay. Let me take out some screws and bring you back when I have some aluminum off. Had to resort to brute force again. Shocker. Well, I pretty much got as far as I can go with this thing. They've got these and this all soldered to the back of this board. So thankfully it's windy today. I'm going to go ahead and take this outside with my propane blowtorch and go ahead and start melting down this solder, and these things will just start falling off. That stuff's nasty to breathe because there might be lead in that solder, so make sure you do that stuff outside, people, and do not breathe that stuff in. And use some gloves when using a blowtorch too. So I'm going to get on that and bring you back when I have these things off. Okay, well, this is everything that's actually worthwhile out of this dang Imac computer. Looks like we got about 2.1 pounds of aluminum, a little bit of scrap copper. Here's another motor here. Got this motor, and a transformer. The scrapyard will pay, I don't know, it's like 35 cents a pound for these things. There's actually a little bit more aluminum right here, so I'll go ahead and take that off later. So maybe 2.2 pounds of aluminum. Then we got the main board, a couple of tantalum capacitors, 2 of the flat pack chips on the Apple configuration here. I don't know if you could see it, but these are all gold pins in here and gold pins in the RAM slot, so I'll go ahead and yank those out when I have time. There's gold pins here. There is some gold pins in here, but this isn't worth messing with. Too tiny. That one's worth it. So I'll yank that one apart, this one apart. Some IC chips, I'll throw those in my IC chip jar. So it's certainly not something you're going to get rich off of. I mainly do it just for the aluminum and whatever miscellaneous stuff I can get. The gold stuff's good for me. You know, the IC chips and stuff like that, I'll just store those up until I have enough. So that's pretty much what's inside of one of those. I like doing it because I get extra aluminum for my sand casting. So, and plus the Imac was given to me free by a friend of mine. I guess he finally upgraded to something more modern. But that's pretty much what you get out of one of them computers. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Florida Fisherman out.